It's so cold in here. Just kidding, it's in Awala. There would have been ice in here anyways, but there's more ice than usual. I gotta stay hydrated before I just yap and yap and yap to you guys. She doesn't know where she wants to be, so she'll decide it eventually. Hi friends, it's me Pixie. Welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today we are going to do our November wrap up. Yes, it's probably the second week of December. I'm really hoping I edit this and get it done to you guys in time because whatever. It is what it is. We get it out, you see it, hooray! Anyways, we're gonna get into our November wrap up for this month. And we do have a special guest behind us who has not decided where she wants to be yet. So she's taking a bath, so excuse her. Anyways, this month I read 5 books. That's it. November was a crazy month. I mean, I feel like everybody's November was a crazy month with Thanksgiving and shopping and just being with family. I really didn't get a lot of reading done. And spoiler alert, I read 1 book off of my TBR. Technically, I'm still reading one of them. If you've been here since the start of my channel, you know that I've been trying to read Phantasma, but we'll get into that in a little bit. It's not a good book. I finally just decided that maybe you just do the audio. Maybe you only have time to do audiobooks right now, and that's where we're at. I am enjoying it. That's such a hard word. I am enjoying it, but time has not been on my side lately. Anyways, let's start with the 5 books I read in November. Starting off, probably one of my most anticipated reads of the fall season. I started this book on Halloween, was The Last One at the Wedding by Jacek Rekulik? I don't know. Jason, who wrote Hidden Pictures, one of my favorite reads of all times. I was super excited to read this book because I thoroughly enjoyed Hidden Pictures. Everything about it was it was just different when it came to horror, thriller books. I've had somebody who absolutely does not do any type of scary books eat up Hidden Pictures. That's how good it was. This one, however, I gave it, I don't even remember. I feel like I read this 10,000 years ago. Uno momento, por favor. I gave this 3 stars. It was entertaining enough to keep, I think I didn't stop reading it. Like, it was a continuous read for me. I was like, I have to finish this. It just did not live up to my expectations, and that's probably on my end. I've heard a lot of mixed things about this book. It takes place where a father who has not heard from his daughter in years hears from his daughter, and she's getting married to somebody, and she's inviting him to the wedding, and they've only been together for, I think, like 6 months. Like, it's nothing crazy. I love when I find my cute bookmarks that I don't put up. It doesn't say exactly how long before they get married, but it was like, it was red flags. He was kind of like, this is kind of sudden. I've never met him before, and all of a sudden you're getting married. So he goes to meet with the son before the wedding and everything. The son-in-law, future son-in-law, and the vibes just were off. It felt like his son-in-law was hiding something. It turns out that the son-in-law is the son of a very rich tech mogul. Like, his daughter has a job there. She's been working there since it was a startup. So he's kind of like, okay, that's cool. Like, my daughter's going to be taken care of, but I don't really know this guy. So he ends up going to the wedding, and he takes his sister and his sister's foster child. They are going up to, like, think a summer camp vibe, but rich people. They're there, and things just start happening. They're there for 3 days before the actual wedding takes place. People are dying. There's drugs. There's just secrets. And the daughter is so dismissive about everything. She's like, no, he's a good guy. This family is amazing. The twist in this book was crazy. I literally was like, ew. It was not what I expected. I think that's why I gave it 3 stars. The ending kind of didn't sit with me. The ending kind of left me like, that's it. That's all the buildup we had. There was so much more that we could have gone into. I can't get into the ending because it would spoil so much of the book, but I still would recommend this if you need something to kind of get you out of a slump, because it was very fast paced, but this definitely did not live up to what I thought it would, with Hidden Pictures being one of my all-time favorite books. It's not I'm never going to read him ever again. I will just set my standards to average when it comes to his future books. The next book in November that I read was Hexed by Emily McIntyre. This was sent to me by Bloom Books and Booksparks as an ARC. Thank you guys so much for sending me this gifted copy. I read... So, I'm getting too excited. I rated this 4 stars. I read... Oh my gosh, what is it called? Me squinting at my bookshelf. Hooked. Last year. I really enjoyed the... I don't want to call it a fairy tale retelling, because it is in a sense, but they're a lot darker, and most of the time the villains that we think are villains are... They're still villains, but you don't see them like evil, right? Like they're morally gray. Hexed was good in the fact that I was expecting, just like in Hooked, you have Wendy and then you have Captain Hook. I forget what his actual name was in the book because I read it so long ago. So I was expecting like Ariel with like a twist, but then when you sit and think about it, you don't really see a character who was like a male villain in what's it called, in The Little Mermaid. This is about Ursula, not Ursula like octopus Ursula. This is Veronica when she becomes a human. That's the main character in this book. Ariel is still there. She's very much ditzy bimbo, not the smartest person. King Triton is there. He is a mob boss. It is a dark romance, a mafia romance with that said. And it's just wild in the beginning because when her name is Veronica, right? Vanessa. Oh my god. I'm sorry, guys. I'm the worst book reviewer. That's having ADHD and trying to remember a book you read a couple weeks ago. Vanessa is her name. Veronica. Who's Veronica? Anyways, Vanessa is going... It starts in the beginning where Vanessa is going to check on Ariel. Her name is not Ariel. I don't know what the name is that they gave her, but we'll just call her Ariel for now. Let me see. I bet you I can find it. Aria. Her name is Aria. Triton kind of has... And his name's not Triton, but we don't need to know everybody's name. You need to know the premise of it. Triton still doesn't really trust Aria on her own, so he sends Vanessa over to check on her because she leaves the, like, town that they grew up in to move to New York. And when one night Vanessa's checking on Aria, she finds this guy who's literally left for dead. Vanessa saves his life, but she lets Aria be the one to be there when he wakes up. Kind of like in The Little Mermaid, you know, Ariel saved the prince. His name's Enzo, not Eric. And eventually Aria and Enzo get engaged, which is crazy because Vanessa can't stop thinking about Enzo, and she's not a woman who falls in love very easily. She's very much like F all men, you know, the typical, you know, bad A woman who's like, I don't need a man, blah, blah. Can't stop thinking about him. So now Aria is coming back home with her fiance because they're about to get married, and she has to pretty much help out Enzo because they are a part of another mob family, and they thought it would be like a good thing of power to get everybody they would think it would be a good thing of power for Aria and Enzo to get married and kind of combine their families. So you follow them, and it just gets crazy, and there is some twist. 4 stars. This one was a thick one compared to her other ones. I do want to read the rest of them. These are standalones for sure. Sometimes, you know, there's interconnected standalones. This one and any of the other ones that Emily has written can be read on their own. I'm assuming I've only read 2 of them, but I would love to read the rest of this collection. It's called the Never After series, so definitely check it out. Once again, thank you so much for sending me this ARC. It was a thick one. The third book I read this month, and it was on my TBR, so everybody, pats for Pixie, pats for Pixie. This was Powerful by Lauren Roberts. I gave this one 5 stars. If you watched my What I Read in a Week, you literally saw that this book brought me to tears. I can't get too into this without spoiling it. It is essentially a novella that takes place when Peyton leaves for the trials. This is a part of the Powerless series, if you didn't know. And it follows her best friend, Adina. In that video, I kept calling her Andarna, and I am so sorry. Adina, it follows Adina while Peyton's not around anymore, and she meets this guy named Mac, and they have a plan to go in and pretty much go to where the trials are and infiltrate it, and it doesn't turn out that way. Obviously, we know that Adina, if you've read the book, does get selected to help Peyton create her costumes and everything for the trials. And that's all I'm going to say about that. You hear everything from Adina's point of view. If you know, you know. This book broke me. It was so good, though. It was so good. I miss these characters so much. I got slivers of Kai and Peyton, and I guess Kit. Don't really care about him. But, oh my god. Everything I needed. I really was trying to hold this book off until March because the new one comes out in April, but I couldn't. And when Libby said, hey girl, the audiobook's ready for you, I said, that's a sign. Let's do it. So definitely read the novella. I know sometimes we, you know, push novellas to the side because we may not need it, but this will break you. If you're like me and you love to be crushed by books and you have loved this series, this will break you. The 4th book I read was Love in the Mix by Kat Fallons. I gave this one 2 stars. Typically, I don't even go that low because I DNF books. Like, I have a lot of books I want to read. If I'm not enjoying the book, and it takes a lot for me not to enjoy a book. If I'm not enjoying a book, I'm just going to stop reading it. I felt like I had to finish this book because it was an ARC that was sent to me. I am so appreciative of this ARC that was sent to me, but I just don't think it was for me. I was super excited because this is a EDM love story. It's a Why Choose. If you don't know what a Why Choose is, please look it up. I'm not going to get into that right now. So you're essentially following a girl who loses everything. Like, her name is Luna, which is funny because I have a Luna right here as a dog. Luna loses everything when she finds her best friend sleeping with her fiance. Like, I'm saying she doesn't, like, catch text messages or anything. She catches them in the act in her bed. 2 years goes by. Luna's a DJ. She stops DJing because that girl, her friend, also stole a lot of work that they were both working on and ended up saying that she was the co-producer on all of these tracks. Ew. Well, then Luna goes and finally does a show because her roommate convinces her to, and she meets these 2 DJs who she eventually, you know. My issue is I am a plot person over smut. If it's in the book, cool. If it's not in the book, cool. I'm very indifferent to it. I will find myself skipping it a lot of the times. But the thing with this that I was just like, it was too much for me, personally. If you love it, you might like it. The storyline is what kept me reading it because there was like, is she gonna fix herself? How's this, you know, adjustment going to do? Is she gonna get revenge on this evil girl? That was why I stayed. It was very much I read it on my Kindle, so this is me tapping through the pages. 20% in, and she's already, they're doing the deed. And my issue is that she started off as this, like, quiet, reserved girl, and then, like, it was a flip. It just felt very rushed for me. I am very appreciative, like I said, of getting the arc. That's, what happens when you get arcs. You just don't like them sometime, and that's okay. I don't know if I'd ever read that author again, but if you enjoy those types of books, then that one is definitely for you. I just wish that the rivalry and the storyline was actually a little deeper than what we got, because I think it had such good potential. And I was just so excited because I love EDM. I'm a huge raver, and this one just fell very flat for me. And the 5th book that I read this month, I don't know if you're going to agree with me and consider it a book, but there's words and there's pictures. The Eras Tour book, obviously, we know this. I'm a huge Swiftie. This was 5 stars, obviously. What? I can relive all of the memories of literally the 2 best nights of my entire life over and over again, and have shots like this and like this. 5 stars. Taylor Allison Swift does no wrong. Yes, there's grammatical errors in here. I don't care. And, I didn't even notice the grammatical errors until I saw TikToks that pointed it out, because I was just so much into the story. Like, not the story. I was just so much into what Taylor had to say about something that she worked so hard on, and that literally changed culture, like Swiftie culture as a whole. Culture as a general, like, a 3.5-hour show, 2 years, economic boost. Like, I'm not saying everybody has to like Taylor Swift's music, but to appreciate what she does bring to her fans is crazy. This cover also, her bodysuit sequence is like textured, and so is her boots. I love it. I did wait with my best friend at 4 in the morning for this. And the anthology vinyl. We got both of them. I cried reading it. I read it like within the first... I went to sleep first when I got home because I was very tired. Then when I woke up and the sun was shining, I read it. And it's just... Can we please talk about this? This... I can literally just stare at this book all day. Taylor Allison. Thank you. 5 stars. If you don't think it's a book, I'm sorry, it is. It shows up on Goodreads, and I'm allowed to rate it and add it to my count. So, going back and touching base on the TBR that I created last November, not last November, what? For November, there was a moment in time where I wanted to read Phantasma, but I had that arc review due for Love in the Mix, and that's just, solidifying that it's okay to DNF a book, because I felt like the book was pretty short, so I felt like, hey, I'm going to finish this book and I can add another number onto my reading goal. I felt that I wasted time, and I could have read more of Phantasma, because I am thoroughly enjoying that book, but everything has just been, you have an arc due, you need to have this review up, and so I have to stop signing up for so many arcs. I think that was it for me. Well, there was one that I read this month that you'll hear about next month that I loved. Loved it. But it's okay to DNF books. That's all I want to say, because you're not going to get that time back, especially when your time is so limited to read other books. So don't be like me. DNF, or even just a soft DNF. Like, if you're not feeling it, and you're currently, if you read multiple books like I do and you're currently reading something better, it's totally okay to just DNF it. Will I have a TBR for December? No. The only TBR that I will have for December is my book club book, which is The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden. That's the only book I'm expecting myself to read. I have already finished 2 books in December, so I'm proud of myself because, second week, 2 books a week, cool. And I've been thoroughly enjoying them because I'm not sticking to a list. I don't have any arcs that are due this month, so that's another good thing. Like, I can read what I want to read. The only book I'm really pushing to read is The Boyfriend by Frida McFadden, because I have to read that book. But I'm not worried. Frida, and I shouldn't say this because this is what I did with Jason's book. Frida doesn't, she misses, but her books are always going to hit. Like, there's always going to be, like, some crazy plot twist that you didn't see coming. So, that's the only book I have to read this month. So last month I read 2 physical books, which one would be The Last One at the Wedding, and then of course the Eras Tour book. I did 1 Kindle e-read, which was Love in the Mix, and then the other 2, Hexed and Powerful. I did the audio. I did hybrid read Hexed, but I think I did more of an audio than actually reading the physical copy. Because once again, that's just the time that I have right now, right? So, I'll take it. Okay, so what did I watch in November? I don't know what I was doing in November because I wasn't reading and I wasn't watching things, so I don't know what, I know what I was doing. I was playing Sims. A lot of Sims. I watched Agatha All Along. We finished it. Yeah, we finished the series. Loved it. Did not like it in the beginning. Stuck it out because that's literally how my partner is. Like, if we watch a couple episodes and I'm like, I'm not feeling it. He's not a DNFer. He has to finish it. I am happy, though, that we finished it because it did end up being good. Had some teary moments, so we love that. And then I saw, I don't know what it's called, but it's the latest Venom movie. I don't know what it's called. Saw that, loved it, cried. Me and my best friend literally sobbed, and both of our partners were like, "You're crying over a symbiote." Symbiote? Is that what they're called? Yep, and I do it again. That one was just funny. It's like not, I feel like with like Thor and some Marvel movies, they try too hard to be funny, but with Venom, it's just genuinely funny. And then I, of course, saw Wicked. No one mourns the wicked. Hello? I want that movie on streaming already. We're gonna go see it again next week, and then we'll probably go see it again when the sing-along happens during Christmas time when I come back from my in-laws. So, loved Wicked. 5,000 stars out of 5,000 stars. How... What? I never have seen the like theater performance, the Broadway performance of Wicked, but one of my friends in middle school loved Wicked and would always listen to the Wicked soundtrack, and I would listen to it too, and I loved the songs. I knew kind of the premise of it, but I never really dove deep into the actual lore of Wicked, and I'm starting the books too, and I know the books are not like the movie, or there's some, dark stuff. I can handle it. It's fine. I've read crazy things. I can handle Wicked. Super excited about it. I can't stop listening to it. I think I was almost speeding the other day listening to Defying Gravity on the way to the gym. And I do it again. And then for the music that I was listening to, I'm kind of confused. I don't know what is going on with my Spotify because there's one song on here that I don't think I listen to that much, but apparently I do. Top 3, TV Off, Kendrick Lamar. If you're not running around screaming mustard, I don't, live a little. Come on. That's a great song. Number 2 is where I'm confused. It's Colorblind by Daydreamers. It's a good song. I don't remember it when I saw it pop up for my top songs of the month, but apparently I do listen to it a lot. And number 3 is Paint the Town Red by Doja Cat. I think just because I'm going to the gym a lot and I have a lot of Doja on my workout playlist, that's probably why, but I do love that song. It's a good song. It was just very, I don't know. My top 3 was out of whack. And then my top 3 artists for the month were Taylor Swift, Pretends to be Shocked, Gracie Abrams, Pretends to be Shocked again, 3, Noah Kahan, Pretends to be Shocked again. That's, I listen to them so much. I don't know. Noah Kahan's, obviously, I'm not going to get into my Spotify Wrapped until our yearly wrap up, but Noah Kahan's Spotify Wrapped video is literally my favorite. I had to screen record it because he's just so funny. He's hilarious. I'm not surprised he was on my Spotify Wrapped, so. And then some things we did this month that I really enjoyed. We celebrated Dia de los Muertos at the beginning of November. I made my first altar for our loved ones that have passed away. And then we went to a celebration that was beautiful. Like, I'm really starting to connect more with my culture, because it just really wasn't a part of my life growing up, which kind of stinks, but it is now. I'm very appreciative of learning about Dia de los Muertos and celebrating it and just remembering the people who have passed away. Celebration was beautiful. Like,
y devoción es para mí una bendición. Guardadita en tu centro, recibe.
and it just was, my partner was like, let's watch Coco, and I was like, let's not. That movie, I love that movie, but that movie literally destroys me, and November is just such a hard time for me, as it is anyways, because it's my grandpa's birthday, and he's not here anymore, so Dia de los Muertos and then my grandpa's birthday, I was like, I can't do Coco. I will cry a lot. More than usual, probably. Obviously, we waited in line for the Black Friday Taylor Swift Eras Tour book. I hadn't done Black Friday in so long. I used to work at Best Buy and retail for like 15 years of my life, and Black Friday is a no-go, but Taylor Swift puts out something, I'll be out there at 3 in the morning. I think I got up at 3:30, and then we got to Target at 4. Bless them, though. It was literally like getting colder. We pull up there. There's already a couple people in line, and there's a Target employee, and she's like, oh, we'll just take your name. You can come back. They opened up at 6. You can come back by 6. You have 2 hours to come pick up your stuff. So we literally just put our names on the list, went and had breakfast tacos, because what else is open at 4 in the morning? Not IHOP, which is kind of disappointing back in my day. And then we went back and got our stuff. The anthology vinyl did sell out, but we did get it. I think a lot of people were more expected of the book to sell out than the vinyl, so we were happy that we got both. Sorry, Monty. And then we had our Wingsgiving. I think I touched base on this in another video, but this is our 5th year doing it. Since we've moved into our house, we've done it. It's our Friendsgiving, essentially, but I love my friends, but I don't know if I would trust them to make a turkey. I don't think I would trust myself to make a turkey. My mother-in-law and I have made a turkey before, but she was, like, guiding me, right? So instead of risking everybody getting food poisoning, everybody just brings 10 to 20 wings from their favorite place, or they can make them, and then we just eat wings all day. Not all day, all night. But it was just so much fun. It was a little smaller than usual, but I think this was probably my favorite Wingsgiving of all time. All time. It was so good. I was so happy. Thank you for coming out to Wingsgiving if you got that invite. And then even before that, we celebrated my little sister's 18th birthday, and we literally took her to do everything. She had a list. She wanted to go bowling. She wanted to go go-karts. She wanted mini golf. We did all of it. It was fun. By the end of the day, I was dead. I was like, I need to sleep. You're 18. I'm 32. I can't do this. But she had a great time. So that's all I asked for, is for my siblings to have fun with me. Because they make me feel old, but it's okay. And then, of course, Thanksgiving. We had Thanksgiving here. Typically, we rotate every other year. So, like, this year we're going to where my partner is from for Christmas, because last year we were here. So this year we stayed here for Thanksgiving. So much fun. We went and we saw these lights that they were doing at the soccer field. We kind of expected a little more, but it was cool. I still had fun. It was cool. We did my father-in-law's house first, and then we went to my uncle's house. I was dead. I was like, I could not look at another turkey. I am now also in charge of making mac and cheese for the rest of my life. I made the Teeny's mac and cheese recipe. 5 stars. I'm assuming everybody gave it 5 stars. And then Saturday, we did another Thanksgiving, and I made the mac and cheese again. Another 5 stars. So that was my November wrap-up. Thank you guys so much for sitting around and listening to me yap for however long this video ends up being. Right now, I have it at almost 40 minutes. We'll see how much I edit down. But as always, if you enjoyed this video, please, please, please like and subscribe. Comment, what is your favorite Thanksgiving dish? What's your favorite side dish? I know turkey is not what we all wait for. I think we all wait for those side dishes, right? What is your favorite dish, or what did you get put in charge of making for this year? If you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, I get it, trust me. What are you looking forward to in December? What's on your TBR? But like always, thank you guys once again for hanging out. I can't wait to see you in the next one. You have an awesome day.